Hi, my name is Abby and today I'll be doing a manga review slash first impressions of 3 mangas that I read this spring. So let's get started. Okay, so the first manga I read this spring was I Want to Eat Your Pancreas by Yoru Sumino and art by Idumi Kirihara. When I first found out about this manga, I thought it was a satire on shoujo manga because, I mean, the title I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is pretty weird. And actually, when I bought this book, the cashier asked me if this manga was good, and I said, oh, I heard good things about it, and she said that she wanted to read it, but the title kind of puts her off because it sounds scary. I want to eat your pancreas, but in Japan it's actually a saying that has a lot more meaning to it. I don't want to give any spoilers, but yeah, it has a lot more meaning to it, and this is a shoujo manga. It is a romance manga. It's not like satire or anything. This manga costs $20, and which I think is pretty good. It's a pretty hefty manga, you know. I mean, I read this within a day, but you know, it's a pretty thick one, so it's pretty good for the price. And the story is about 2 high schoolers named Sakura and a boy whose name that we don't really find out until the very end of the manga, and there's actually a reason for that. I don't want to spoil anything, but I found it really sweet why the author chose to hide the boy's name for so long until the end. At first I thought the 2 main characters were actually middle school students because with the art style they look pretty young, but they are high school students. Sakura, the girl, and the boy, when they first met, the boy actually finds out about a secret of hers, and you know, it lands him in this situation where he has to spend time with her. Throughout the book, a big chunk of the book is actually just them getting to know each other, and not in a romantic sense. They just form a friendship at first, and he kind of learns through her how to be sociable, how to stop closing himself off from others, and that it's good to surround yourself with people and learn that life, a big chunk of life, depends on how you interact with people and your impact on people's lives. As for the characters themselves, the boy has this mindset that he's better than his classmates, that he's a lot more mature just because he reads literature that none of his classmates would ever understand or know of, and it's cringy and really bad to say right now, but I had a similar mindset back when I was in high school and middle school, especially because, you know, it was hard to make friends, and I think a lot of teenagers went through a similar phase like this, especially if it was hard to make friends. And thank God for Sakura, she helped him get out of this mindset and let him learn how to form healthy relationships with other people. As for Sakura, she's a really cheerful girl. She's kind of a prankster. There were some moments where I was kind of confused with her behavior. I didn't really understand why she'd do something like that, but you know, she's a kid and she is very cheerful and kind of a jokester, so yeah. Overall, I'd really recommend this manga if you're in high school because I just think you'd relate to it, but even as an adult, I think it's something melancholic, it's something very sad to read if you're in the mood to get in your feels. Overall, a good manga, although there were moments where I could tell it wanted to make me cry, but I didn't just because I kind of saw the ending coming, but still it's a sweet manga and I definitely recommend it. Okay, so the next manga is called She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai and art by Tsubasa Yamaguchi. Now this book sells for $13, but I believe I bought it for like $8 at a discount because I bought it from Right Stuff Anime. But when it came in, the box was like really damaged, so there's these like this weird mark on the manga. I don't know if that's supposed to be there, but you know, as a collector I was kind of disappointed with it. But yeah, also I have to mention that Makoto Shinkai is also the creator of Your Name and Weathering with You. This manga is actually adapted from one of his short films back in 1999, I believe. It was originally like a black and white short film, and I watched some of it. It was really short, like I think 3 minutes, but they kind of elongated the story with this manga. I really loved it. It was so cute. What's different with this manga is that it's from the point of view of a cat, and its owner, her name is Miyu. She lives alone. You know, she's like newly graduated, I believe. She's like has an office job, and I was able to relate to this manga a lot more than the I Want to Eat Your Pancreas one, probably because I also graduated recently, and you know, I'm off to that stage in adulthood that where she is right now, and you know, she's just going through a lot, and it's nothing like really serious. I just feel like it's, you know, those common obstacles that young adults face, and this cat is just adorable. I'm not a cat person at all, but this cat is just so beautiful. So sweet. I actually cried multiple times a bit reading this manga, just because it was so cute, and like there were just some bittersweet moments that like pulled on my heartstrings. Excuse the noise in the background, the heater is on right now. So yeah, I also have to commend Tsubasa Yamaguchi for the art, because it is beautiful. It's honestly one of my favorite art styles in manga that I've read. It's just interesting. I love how she draws people. I love how she draws the details in the person's home. It really feels like you know, she lives there, and I just really love this. I cannot recommend this manga enough. If you are someone who wants to start out reading mangas or reading slice of life mangas, then I really recommend this, especially if you love cats. I really think you'll enjoy this manga. The next manga that I have for you is called Maison Ikkoku by Rumiko Takahashi, who also created Inuyasha, and this was made back in the 1980s, and you could really see it in the artwork and the clothes that the characters wear, which is actually one of my favorite parts of this manga, seeing the different styles of fashion that the characters wear. And I decided to get this manga mainly because of the cover art. I thought it was really nice, and it's pretty high quality, and the cost of this manga is $25, which is pretty expensive, but I bought it for $18 in Right Stuff Anime, although there were some damaged parts of the book for some reason, but it's okay, I fixed it, and I just really love the art style. Just look at it, especially this part of the book. It looks so beautiful, I think. It's so good. I love it. And overall, this book is about a college student named Yusaku Godai. He lives in a boarding house. It's called Maison Ikkoku, along with a couple of people. They have all kinds of different lifestyles and careers, such as this one woman who works at a bar, another guy who is a salaryman, I believe, and a mother and her child. And all of the boarding house is managed by this woman named Otonashi Kyoko Otonashi, and she's this really down-to-earth woman. I don't want to spoil too much, but she's kind of mysterious as to what her background is, but Godai is immediately taken by her beauty. And you know, for a manga author who is a woman, I was really surprised by the amount of naughty jokes, and you know, it's in the sense of humor in this manga, especially in the beginning, is kind of like this. Okay, so what I was trying to say was, for a manga that was written by a female author, I was really surprised by how much she kind of sexualizes women and how they're kind of like the butt of the joke sometimes. Some of the humor in this book would not ride if it was made right now, but you know, being that it was written in the 80s, I understand, but that shouldn't drive you away from reading this manga. There are parts of it that made me chuckle and laugh while reading it. Godai is, I don't know how to feel about him, honestly. he's really not the leading guy material. It makes the guy look not very smart, which honestly he isn't. He's kind of seen as this failure in life. He has a tough time getting into universities, and he doesn't have a job. He's not good at studying, but he still wants this girl, and you know, a relationship forms between them, you know, a friendship. She finds herself caring for him, kind of more like a brother, but you know, towards the ending or throughout the book, you know, the relationship kind of shifts. But I really love Kyoko. I think she's really sweet and kind of innocent and down to earth, but she, you know, thank God, like with the ridiculous stuff she has to put up with, like the men and you know, the woman even, like she knows how to hold her ground. She's not just, you know, like weak and, you know, doesn't know how to protect herself. Like she knows how to stand her ground without being too brash. And yeah, I just really liked her character in this manga, and I do plan on continuing this manga because first off, it's beautiful. I'll show you one of my favorite panels. I think this panel really shows off the 80s fashion that was in at the time. Like, just look at how short this guy's shorts are. Like, but yeah, I recommend Maison Ikkoku. I don't know if I'd recommend it if you're new to manga, but you know, if you're familiar with manga, I think you're gonna enjoy this, especially if you like comedy manga. Okay, and that's about it. Those were the 3 mangas that I read over the spring. It's not a lot, but I really enjoyed reading them, and I hope you enjoyed my little first impression / review video of them as well. Please remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Bye bye!